Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, E-Steam Goddess of. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a demonic dominatrix in this action-packed all-new E-Steam series adventure. Get E-Steam Goddess of in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. It looks like Warner Brothers' DC Cinematic Universe is getting ready to get woke, just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And these two articles I read about the DC Cinematic Universe give me less incentive to get excited about DC's upcoming superhero movies. Now, the first article I read was about October's upcoming Joker movie. And this article about the upcoming Joker movie tells us all that this adaptation of the Joker will have absolutely nothing to do with the source material and will be a story based on the ideas of the director and the screenwriter. And when you have a film that does not follow the source material, that's a bad sign, because the last time Warner Brothers made a film that did not follow the source material, it was 2004's Catwoman, which was directed by Pitoff and starred Halle Berry, and we all saw what happened to that Catwoman movie over the course of a year, where most people, after seeing that horrible Catwoman costume with all of the exposed skin and the open-toed boots, literally started roasting the movie for not being based on the source material, that ridiculous costume, and the absolutely puerile story. And as a result of the negative press and the complete backlash from comic fans, the Catwoman movie wound up being one of the biggest flops of 2004. And when I take a critical examination of this Joker movie starring Joaquin Phoenix, it's looking like it's going to be one of the biggest flops of 2019, and another one to go on the failed franchise pile, because if you deviate from the source material of the material you are adapting, you are already setting up for a recipe for failure. So this director's adaptation of the Joker is already being seen as a joke, because most comic fans know who the Joker is, and they know that the story of the Joker involves him being in a confrontation with Batman as the Red Hood, as they're trying to escape through either the Ace chemical plant or the Axis chemical plant. And it's this confrontation with Batman that leads to him falling over the railing of the Ace or the Axis, depending on which version you've read or watched. And this is what turns him into the psychopathic crown prince of crime known as the Joker. And if you go out of your way to deviate from that source material, what's going to happen is you're not going to give people an incentive to go out here and go see this movie. And after seeing the absolutely weak and absolutely ridiculous trailer for the Joker's teaser, I have no faith in this movie. And when I look at the date that they released it in October, it shows me that Warner Brothers has no faith in this film as well. Now, the other news I read was an article from WeGotThisCovered.com that shows me how woke your Warner Brothers is making the Birds of Prey movie. Now, this movie I already was getting worried about when I saw the social justice forced diversity casting of Journey Smollett as the Huntress, I believe, or no, it was Black Canary, the woke casting of Journey Smollett as Black Canary, and that lit a red flag to me for how bad this movie was going to be. But it's going to be even worse, because now Warner Brothers is looking to make Roman Sionis, the Black Mask, gay for this movie. So here we have Warner Brothers showing how woke they are by taking another previously heterosexual character like the Black Mask and making him a homosexual character, all for the name of diversity. And this attempt at diversity does not really add anything to the source material, just like your Journey Smollett being cast as Black Canary doesn't add anything to the story. It's all about virtue signaling to all of the audiences out here, showing how woke Warner Brothers is by taking these characters who were white characters and now changing them to another ethnicity, all so they can get brownie points with social justice warriors who do not go to see these movies. So I already have some misgivings about this film, and those misgivings about this film are exacerbated by these announcements about your Journey Smollett being the Black Canary, a character again who was once a white woman, and now with this whole announcement that your Black Mask is now going to be a gay character, it shows me that Warner Brothers is about their, again, virtue signaling to the audience instead of focusing on the story of the Black Mask, a mobster's son, I believe, who carved the mask out of his father's coffin and later on became a sadistic man who goes out of his way to torture people. And all of those elements of the character are not really being focused on. Instead, we are focusing on the identity politics as related to these characters instead of focusing on the contents of the characters or the actor's work in portraying the character. So this is a big problem for me with these Warner Brothers movies, and it further shows how completely disconnected Warner Brothers is as a movie studio as related to superhero films, just when we thought Warner Brothers was getting back on track with movies like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam, we see them going right back to the same dysfunctional pattern. That's why I compare Warner Brothers to a drug addict, because just when you think the drug addict is getting themselves right, you think that they're getting off the stuff, you think they're starting to make momentum, all of a sudden, like Pookie from New Jack City or the cheeseburger dude from Menace to Society, they get back on that stuff and they get back to being dysfunctional. And that's what I'm seeing right now with these announcements about these films, Birds of Prey and The Joker. And the joke is on anyone who thinks that either of these movies are going to be good, because when you deviate from the source material, you've already shown the audience you have no respect for it. So the audience knows that this movie isn't going to be good because it's not going to be based on the original story. And when you go out of your way to focus on identity politics casting and focusing on social justice narratives as instead of giving us a story of three heroines going out to support Batman by taking on cases that Batman can't really take on because he already has a overwhelmed workload. Instead of focusing on those aspects of Gotham City, we get a social justice narrative, and that shows me that Birds of Prey is a movie you want to fly away from. So when it comes down to these two films, I'm seeing two more superhero movies I'm going to pass on, and I believe you should pass on these two movies, because as long as these movie studios want to get woke, we need to go out here and send a message to them that as long as they're woke, they're going to go broke. If you'd like to pick up some of my SJS Direct publications featuring heroines and heroes, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the Smith-Dorella trilogy, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com in the description box. There you can find all of my books in paperback and Kindle formats, and several are available on Kindle Unlimited if you have that subscription. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, Easting: The Sands of Time. It's action and adventure in ancient Egypt in this terrific teen time travel romance. Get your copy of Easting: The Sands of Time at your favorite online bookseller today.